Today I'm going to make a concrete backsplash that doubles as a dish rack. I designed the backsplash in pieces and used Legos to mock up the design. I then flipped the pieces upside down and built molds around them. I used flat tile Lego bricks to line the inside of the mold. I mixed and poured some Quikrete countertop mix into the mold. I then used a stick to push it down into all the corners, and I used my orbital sander without a sanding pad to vibrate the mold and get the air bubbles out. I let the concrete cure 3 days before removing the molds. I used needle nose pliers to remove the Legos that were stuck, but I was careful not to squeeze too hard and damage the soft plastic. I'm going to need to reuse these Legos for the next pieces, so I separated them all and put them in a mesh bag. I then put the mesh bag along with a cup of vinegar in the washing machine and made sure that the water temperature was set to cold. Larger mesh bags work best since the Legos have more room to bounce against each other and knock the little pieces of concrete off. The Legos come out mostly clean. Every once in a while you'll find a couple little pieces of embedded concrete on the underside, but even with those you can still put them back together. I checked the fit of the first piece that I made and then went on to the next. I cut some 1/2-inch thick maple to make some racks that I could insert into the concrete pieces that I could use for setting dishes on so that they could dry. I sanded the pieces with an orbital sander, glued them together, and then added some stainless steel screws. I wanted one of the wooden pieces to accommodate large and unusually shaped dishes, so I made sort of a pegboard system where I drilled a bunch of 1/4-inch holes that could accommodate different pegs. I finished the wood pieces with a food-grade sealer that's meant for cutting boards. I sealed the concrete pieces with Quikrete waterproofing sealer. I checked to make sure that the pieces would fit and then poured some water in them to make sure that it would drain in the right direction. To install the pieces, I'm just going to use silicone. I don't want them to be glued on since I want the option to be able to remove them for cleaning, but I do want them to prevent water from backing up underneath them. I also use silicone to seal the joints in between the pieces. Although sealing them isn't really an issue, because unless you're dumping tons of water into it, most of the time it's just going to pool up and eventually dry out. The adjustable pegs are great for accommodating dishes of any size, and the slatted piece of maple is great for coffee mugs and water glasses. Now, a couple of the pieces broke a little bit when I was removing them from the molds, so I just had used a Quikrete anchoring epoxy to glue the pieces back together. I used silicone to seal all the pieces to both the countertops and the back wall. The one exception would be the piece on the far left, which I want removable. I'm going to use it for holding bottles of cooking oil and stuff like that, so I want to make sure it's easy to wash. For more detailed instructions, check out my website. And if you want to see what I'm working on next or ask me any questions about the projects, just hit me up on Instagram. We also have videos showing how we made the concrete countertops and how we made the kitchen cabinets as well. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thanks. Bye.